That's our new intro because we're on Streamlabs. And apparently it gives some other instructions to the laptop computer camera because this is a different crop than usual as well. All the new things we get to learn. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. I don't even know where to look for the chat. Interesting. My name is Margaret Pinard. Welcome to my channel. You're on Booktube. It is the first Friday of October. So we're going to have a productivity stream, which is good because I have a whole lot of stuff to do. Where are you supposed to see people's chat? I wonder. That is a big question mark. Streamlabs. There we go. Okay. Hi. Oh, let's see. And we can show it on the stream. Double click to update. This is so weird. Hi, JC. Hi, Lily. Lily. I will be rereading The Wolf Gift by Anne Rice today, so I can finally read book 2 in the series of 2 books. Okay, so you're going to catch up so you remember what book 1 says. Cool. Well, I am not going to be doing any reading today, during the stream anyway. Cat Paws here. Hello. Hello. It says highlighted. It says twice. What is happening? This is so weird to see how they lay out things in the new format. All right. Well, you're going to be coming on this journey with me. Why am I using a new format? If you didn't know, StreamYard, which a lot of us use as YouTubers, is jacking their prices up. For some people, it's twice as much. For some people, it's 4 times as much for their paid plans. And that is just no can do over here. I don't earn anything from my YouTube channel yet. So, yeah, I can pay $10 a month. That's kind of like a music subscription, but $44? No, I cannot float that. They don't need my money that badly. So I'm trying out a new platform called Streamlabs because my good friend writer Sam Wicker is recommending it as the one that works best for her. She did a survey of about 4 or 5, and this came out as the best. So for her needs, and it sounded pretty similar to mine. So we'll see. There are some things like it says toggle to spotlight, double click to toggle spotlight, and I don't know what spotlight means. So if you see anything happening, it says spotlight now. I don't know what that means. And now it's off. Did it change anything? Let me know in the chat. Oh. And we've got a Leslie here. Hello, good morning. I've never read Wolf Gift. How do you like it? She's rereading it, so must be pretty good. One of the many things I've got on my list, the book is in process. I just dropped the pub date on my Patreon, so I have committed to a day when I will be getting this next book out into the world. Orla Rafferty Seeks Her Fortune. I've been looking at covers and working on formatting, and so that's what I'll be doing today. I got a couple responses back from 2 different places that are sort of responsible for the formatting, Draft to Digital, where I'm publishing, and Scrivener, which is the vehicle that's supposed to help me format. And they kind of contradict each other. So I'm going to have to read both of their emails very carefully and try to discern my path forward. This is not my favorite thing. I want someone to tell me clearly, but I'm sort of mediating between 2 different programs and trying to figure out what I need to do. So I got myself off to a good start this morning. I did some receipts, so I feel like the space is clear. I'm sort of caught up a little bit on some of my stuff, and now I can go in for a little bit of a deep dive on something that I really need to um, accomplish. So, formatting my book. Um, Lily says Wolf Gift is a really good book in my opinion. All right. And cool. So they have a share screen feature, and I could share screen with timers and stuff, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna go real old school, mute myself, and okay, I just got an appointment confirmation for Monday. Sorry, I was like worried that I was gonna have to change something again. Um, and use the timer on my phone. So I will be muting myself, and then when the timer goes off, I'll unmute myself so that you can hear the timer, and then we can go back and chat for a bit. But yeah, so you can read or you can do some work, whichever you need to. And hopefully, we'll all get closer to our goals here on the first Friday of the month. Doop. And timer. Okay, so let's start with 30 minutes. I think that will do us give us enough time, let's say. Emma Bennett is here. Hello, hello. She booped the like button. Hi, hi. Yeah. Can you tell this is different? The camera crop is different and it's sort of freaking me out. I feel like it did this even on StreamYard last time I was on for Crime Time. So I'm a little unsure what's happening here, whether it's my computer just going rogue or Streamlabs, but we'll figure it out. Kappa also says, I started reading The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I'm about 10% in. Not sure how I like it. Oh, okay. I've heard lots of different things. I think that's the kind of book I will like, but I haven't gotten to it yet. So back to edits it is for Cat Paw. All right, well done. Just saw the date. Yeah, and hopefully like I, it makes sense. Okay. So I'll mute myself. We'll go on our first sprint. I'll put up a ticker so people know what we're doing, and I'll see you guys in 30 minutes, starting now. Give myself a few seconds to like mute myself and everything. Why did it get all quiet? Anyway, that was weird. It was loud and then it was quiet as soon as I held it up. So, we're back. It says text, so I keep forgetting it's not a banner, it's text. Now we can stop it. All right, so we'll take that off, come back. We had some new people join us. What's happening? Cat Paw made a cup of tea. Yay, autumn. Wrangled pics off my tablet. Too grainy. Don't! Opened. Y writer. Sighed. And back here with 2 minutes to go. We have a Richard in the house. Hello, Richard. We had a self-pub with Andy stopping in. He had to cut short his stream earlier. We had a Paget Farmer. Lovely, lovely to see you. Let's see, going backwards. And I think I said Emma Bennett, and that was the last person I welcomed on. So we're caught up. Okay. How did you guys do? I said I was going to be sorting out formatting, and what I did was read back through the draft digital email, respond with questions. I have concluded that an ebook on draft to digital has no right to dictate its terms of its front matter. It's reflowable format, que sera, sera. It's fine. It's out of my hands. I don't care. I can't control whether it's going to be vertically aligned on the page. That's fine. But what I do care about is when I change the POV and I have the character name at the top, whose POV you will be in, that doesn't get turned into drop caps, or it doesn't get shoved right next to the text, that there's a space in between. And right now I can't do that. And it looks pretty stupid. So I do need to get that straightened out. And that's on draft to digital. So hopefully they get me a suitable answer. And then the other half is I'm still working on ebooks for Scrivener. They gave me a big answer about how their formatting approach is completely different now, which is, of course, what I wanted to hear last week. Not last week, Tuesday. But we'll see. That may only come into play when I do the paperback. So I'm waiting until I get the draft to digital answer, and then we'll shift over to paperback. There's an order to this. I also had to decide what to do with the ISBNs. What I'm going to do is go with ASIN for the KDP version and a draft to digital ISBN for the draft to digital versions, and then only use one of my paid for ISBNs for the paperback. So that will go through D2D print and go to multiple places and still use the same ISBN. So I feel like that is the right decision, and I really don't want to have to think about it again because my brain just like explodes with all these stupid decisions. All right. And Mama Maggie was here. She said lurking, and I don't think I called out her name. So hello, Penumbra Mine. Editing, and I know it's purple, but I want to keep this line describing a wedding in the first book, meaning like it's purple prose, I'm guessing. Oh, and here's the line. That one was black roses and red filigree over red velvet and black velvet cake tiers. The whole production looked like a vampire wedding. I think that's the line, if I'm understanding this correctly. I'm not liking the layout because it's cutting off. It's taking whatever the quote is in the chat and then repeating it at the bottom so that you can see it large. But there's also like a little caret that goes over that square, so I can't see some of the text, which is kind of silly. Front matter matters. Yeah, but they take it out of your hands. I mean, they're saying we we reserve the right to change it all, so don't even try. Eva's here. Hello, hello. Haven't bought any Isbins yet. Where do you suggest I do that? There is only one place, Eva. It's called Bowker, and it's now under myidentifiers.com, I think. But in the US, they have a monopoly, and you do have to buy your Isbins from them. But be careful, because if you're doing ebooks like I am, you won't need to use an Isbin for an ebook. I just used Ingram's free Isbins. I don't understand that statement because Ingram doesn't give away free Isbins. Oh. I don't, yeah, you had the same idea, but I don't understand what the carrots are about. When I started the stream, I said I was getting myself in the mood by doing a bunch of receipts, like clearance, right? So checking that they were coming through and then tearing them up and putting them in the recycle, because then this area is a bit cleaner and like my brain feels ready to go. So that's kind of like a carrot. It's kind of like working with my brain. Maggie's asking, never used Streamlab. How are you liking it? I mean, it's functionally similar. It's like getting in a car that has everything on the other side. Everything is still there, but you kind of have to retrain your body to recognize like where things are and what they look like. Yeah. Oh, JC with the link for my identifiers. Thank you, JC. Eva says, didn't need one for the hardback either. Ingram just gives them out, I guess. They don't. So, I mean, 10 years ago when I did this, I was very worried about accepting the paperback free from Amazon, because basically when you look up who publishes, Amazon says it's them. And so they have like some sort of right over your work. But I've backed off that in terms of the ebook. Now it's basically a matter of like how you're finding your stuff, I think. Yeah, I don't understand that. I can't respond to this because I haven't looked it up. JC, I don't use them when I create the ebook, but I use Isbins for the physical book. So JC has come down to the same place. Oh, a carrot. You guys. All right. JC came to the same place in terms of decisions. So that works. Okay, so Richard pointing out, this is a good point. It's better to own your Isbin so you don't tie that edition to a particular printer. So, for example, back in the Stone Ages, when I started out, I started doing paperbacks on Amazon, and I had an Isbin, so that enabled me to choose to discontinue the paperback version on Amazon and trot it over to Draft to Digital and use the same Isbin and say, you print this now, I'm done with Amazon. They gave me a lot of trouble for that and said, oh, it's not cleared, it's not out, it's still like whatever. But legally, that is what it's supposed to allow you to do. The printer was Amazon CreateSpace, the printer changed to Draft to Digital. And if you have a Amazon or Ingram Isbin only, like it's not a true Isbin, it's one of their sorting systems, then you may not have the ability to do that. And so then you would need to get a new Isbin. Of course, if you're just going to keep using free Isbins and tracking them, it just gets to be a pain in terms of tracking. Like if you're tracking sales data, if you want to update versions, like you just have to administer all that with all the different numbers rather than have one that changes throughout time. Especially because I'm kind of stuffy and like it's annoying to say. Hi, Laura. How you doing? My book's available everywhere. Yeah, I saw Amazon and Barnes & Noble. I didn't look at the other places, but that usually means that, like, it's widely distributed. Oh. It's because my nose is stuffed up. Also, don't forget that if you change the size or paper color of the print book, you will need a new ISBN for each one. So annoying. KDP defaulted settings printed one of my books even though I said it. See, this is the carrot. This is in the way. ISBN. Really? Well, I've heard people say ISBN for a long time, so that must be a regional thing. Yes, you definitely can not pay and publish the book. But if you wanted to take your book from Ingram and say publish it on KDP directly so that you could do Kindle countdown deals, they would not accept the ISBN that Ingram had issued. That's what I mean by a pain in the ass. So if you had your own, you could just carry it over because it's from Bowker. But if it's from an individual printer, then they might say, oh, no, we don't accept that. What? Apparently they do. All right. JC's giving me the link for Ingram's free ISBNs. Well, you know what? I've already made my decision. I've got the numbers to use. One of them's burning a hole in my pocket. So I'm going to use it for the paperback. And, actually, oh, I know, Ingram. Okay, so I'm using Draft Digital, which distributes to the same places that Ingram distributes to. So I'm covered. Draft Digital will give me the numbers for ebooks, and I will use one ISBN for all of the paperbacks. So I'm not going to investigate that because I value my sanity. It's just too much right now. I've got beta readers, I've got formatting, I've got marketing to set up, I've got publicity to set up, I've got travel schedules and events I want to schedule. I've just got too much going on to like rethink this decision right now. So there we go. All right. People were talking about different editions. Oh. Okay, I can address this. So Richard is saying, which I think is a true statement, if you have an Amazon version, so you upload directly to Amazon, and an Ingram version, and they have separate numbers, then the paperbacks from each become their own editions because they have different ISBNs. Okay, so this is true. What I am doing is directly uploading to Amazon for flexibility and analytics, as well as Draft to Digital, and not Ingram at all, because Ingram's backend is terrible. So Draft to Digital is going to be supplying or fulfilling all of the paperbacks going through Ingram's distribution channels. So in terms of the ISBN, there should just be 3. One for the Kindle version, one for the ebook version that is everywhere else except Amazon, and one for the paperback available at any store where you can order books through Ingram. So that is hopefully understandable to people. All right. Just tell me my business like I haven't worked in bookstores and stuff like this. Yeah, it's okay. It's all right. I would agree with Richard here, which is funny to say. I would avoid distributing to Amazon from Ingram. For several people, it's borked their pre-orders, etc. Yeah. The people who have their own empires don't like playing together, I think is the takeaway here. Yeah, best to deal with Amazon Direct. I think I've come to that view as well. Yeah, all right. Are we ready for another sprint? I need to get some more done. I don't remember why I chose Ingram. It was just a mental note in my brain that Ingram was the route I wanted after years of listening to y'all, which is funny. Yeah, Maggie's heard both. Y'all are giving me crap about pronunciation. Eva says it went very smoothly, but this is a picture book, so maybe that impacts things. You know who also just did a picture book is RK Stumbling Bear. She and her husband just put out a picture book about being Kiowa Indian in Kansas, and it's looking pretty awesome. She did all like the distribution stuff and like learned how to do that over the past year, and so yeah, maybe you can compare notes. That'd be pretty fun. I think MPD stands for multiple personality disorder here, and Maggie's kind of saying it tongue in cheek. Yeah. Rita is here. Hello, Rita. Nice to see you. Yeah, knock on wood. The migraine has not come to call this morning. I haven't taken any meds, so like maybe it's gone. Andy also refuses to use Ingram directly and use draft to digital. Such a rebel. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Richard, getting my point. There we go. I like it. Okay. Paget's, I think comparing the business empire to parking lots, I'm not sure. Okay. Oh man. Yeah. See, and then different markets, Cat Paws saying there's like issues about finding their ways to Amazon because people are reselling and then they just fulfill it. Yeah, it's a whole tricky thing. Yeah. Let's see. What makes it the superior choice? Draft to digital. So draft to digital has both ebook and paperback capabilities. And they had a lot of issues with D2D print, so like they've ironed them out, I think, over the past 2 years. We'll see. But what I like is they're indie minded. They're not a leftover from a vast publishing industry that caters to mostly bigger named folks like Ingram does. They're like made for indie authors. They just merged with Smashwords over the past 3 years. So like that's where their heart is. They do a lot of direct address in terms of podcasts and Mark Leslie Lefebvre, like talking to people, talking to authors. And they like what did they just do? They just sent out a newsletter that was about not agreeing to some sales thing opportunity because it didn't seem like it was in the interest of authors. They just seem like they're more open and transparent about stuff. So their vibe check is good for me. And it's one effing place where I can upload something and have it go many places. So in a world that purports to be efficiency seeking, they actually do the dang thing. They actually let you put something in and say, all right, it's going to all these places. You're good. And it's great. So that's why originally I chose to go with them after doing Amazon and Ingram. Okay, there was a bunch of chat I have to catch up on. And then we're going to go into a sprint because I need to get another 30 minutes at least. I do appreciate the humor. That's pretty funny. D2D works for me for wide. See, when I hover over it, I can't see whose it is. It's Andy. Amazon Direct, then D2D for everywhere else. Yeah. Paget thinks Ingram Spark does have pretty covers, though. They do have proper hardcovers with dust jackets. I was giving that like a potential look this time, and I'm like, I still may buy the hardcover package from my cover designer, but just in case. Like, I don't think I'm gonna have time to do it. Fair point. Amazon could just end Ingram Spark if they did physical pre-orders, which they don't, and dust jacket hardcovers. Yeah. So if you want what you want, you gotta go elsewhere. Yeah, Mr. Leslie Lefebvre, the legend. KDP considerably more user-friendly than Ingram Spark. Yeah. There was another one besides this, though. It was like, we're not going to do a deal to sell something. I think there was 2 announcements recently, Andy. Yeah, one place for everywhere. I went wide due to Margaret's own encouragement to use places other than Amazon to shop. Fun Eva lore! Yay! I have influenced Eva. Yes. Yes. So I did oh no, I can't remember because it was a few weeks ago. When I hear about people's friends' books, usually I try to get them on Storygraph so people can put them on their shelves and be more aware. And then I try to request them at my library as well. I did get one done this year, and I don't think it was this. I think it was further ago. But yeah, your and Rachel's books are on my list. Oh, It was AI. Yeah, it was an AI thing. I didn't want to use the word because I know it's a flashpoint. They will be doing AI training for something or other. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. It was more specific, but we don't need to get on the exact thing. The newsletters fly by, the fundraising emails fly by, the disaster pictures fly by. It's all a little much, which is why we're going to jump on a stream. Not a stream, a sprint. Let's do another 30 minutes, and I will mute myself and then get a little scroller on here for the fun of all the people. So I'll give myself a few seconds to do that and start. Here we go. All right, well, that was our timer. I don't feel like I got that much done, but I did focus. Okay. Cancel. Hide. There we go. Friday. It's been raining the entire time I've been here. Just FYI. I don't know if it's nice and fall cozy where you are, but I'm enjoying that vibe. Yeah, so we'll go with that. I worked on the back matter, which, as I said, is not going to be coming into play until the paperback version, I think. But yeah. I also need. So here's the weird thing. Like, if you're going through a place where they're giving you your ISBN, it needs to be in the PDF for the interior, but they won't give it to you unless you submit it. So you have to like submit a fake number, and then they give you your ISBN, and then you resubmit the interior with the real number, which is kind of silly. But yeah, so I'm just thinking through all these orders of operations and stuff. Richard said in his back matter, he does a you might consider page where I shout out other indie books. I saw the idea on X, figured it was a nice way to pay it forward. That is pretty nice. It's kind of like how people do newsletter swaps, but doing it in the back of the book. Pretty cool. Dee Dee is here. Brown Girl Reading just finished up her, I guess, hour and a half or 2 hour Friday chat, which is lovely. Leslie says I should be done reading Never Whistle at Night by end of day, which sounds great. She's on a spooky kick, I think. Book Dust Media, hello, hello. We've got a Christopher Evenstar. Hi, everybody. Rainy and cozy here. Nice. I did not finish early. My timer went off. I let you all hear it, so. Free from them. Yeah. Yeah, so Maggie does the same thing. I submit all zeros for the blank ISBN, then change it and immediately resubmit it. Yeah. Maggie spent the sprint wandering the chats and cut some flowers for the kitchen from my garden. That sounds nice. Very nice. So it's a full day. I'm gonna take a break though because I'm hungry, and your body needs to be seen too. You can't just sit in front of a computer all day, even though a lot of things got to get done. This is my short list, I guess. I got the book out to the beta readers. I did the Patreon book club last night. I set up this stream last night with a new platform, which is going okay so far. I did a step on the formatting thing that I needed to do. Hopefully I'll get a response today from draft to digital, but who knows? I need to do a follow-up phone call to one of the bookstores that I want to do an event in. I need to do a application for another event for which I needed the ISBN. So I found that I had to go back through my screenshots. I don't know if other people operate their screenshots like this, but kind of like when I take pictures of food, it's just for me. I often don't post it. It's just like if I ever turn up poisoned, well, they'll know because it's on my phone roll. I I suppose that I was killed from eating XYZ. Anyway, similar approach to the screenshots where I take several I take a screenshot at the drop of a hat, let's just say. So I have a lot, and I don't regularly go back and clean them out. But I did just go back through a couple days to try to find the one where I got my Isbins, because again, back in the Stone Age, 10 years ago, when I bought my first batch of Isbins from Bowker, they sent you an email and it had all the Isbins in the email. So I just started, and I have it from 2013 with all the numbers that I checked off as I went. The last time, which was 2022, I believe, or 2023. Anyway, I got another batch of numbers, and they sent the email from my identifiers, which is not Bowker. They've like gotten more sophisticated and complex. And they don't send you, they make you go to their site and log in. So you have to remember the stupid password and be verified. And then you have to navigate to like where it has them hidden. And then you have to check off, like assign each one. So I had to find the latest one that was not yet assigned. So anyway, I took a screenshot of that because I don't want to have to go on their site every time and be subjected to their advertisements and have to read their terms and conditions and update my privacy, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just like, I hate this monopoly system. But so I got the Isbin, and now I can put it in my application to be at Holiday Cheer. There's a fun thought to like switch gears. Holiday Cheer is the Oregon Historical Society's annual event where they have authors from Oregon who have written a book in the past year. And you get to be at this like fair where there's carolers and there's a Santa and there's hot cocoa, and people get free admission to the historical museum. So being a history nerd, I've been there twice and it's been lovely, but there's always more people who apply and they try to cram everyone in, but there are like fire codes. So I want to submit and see if I get in. If I get in, I'll make a special trip to come back for that weekend. And if I don't, then I won't worry about it and I'll just stay in California. But it's such a fun event that, you know, I would like the chance. So we'll see. So I'm going to submit to that. Cat Paw says, internet keeps kicking me off. See you all on another live stream. Bye, Cat Paw. Sorry, the internet. You can see my lovely flowers and many of my coffee mugs during the October Mugathon. That sounds fun. A little whimsical thing to do. I'm betting that's on Instagram. Very fun. Richard's here for the food photos. He says my camera roll is 80% food photos. The best option on an iPhone these days is copy and delete screenshot. Absolute game changer. This is on the phone, right? So I do take food photos on the phone, but I take screenshots on the laptop, which is a whole different library of photos for like documentation purposes. A lot of these are like, if I get caught in an illegal dispute 10 years from now, I don't know. My brain just like doesn't like risk, and that's one of its mitigation strategies. But yeah, for the phone, I only upload like once every couple months, and then I go through and I try to go back and label, but sometimes I don't make it to deleting all the, you know, frivolous ones. So copy and delete screenshot. Yeah, this might help when I'm sending things that are screenshots so that I don't need to keep a record of. I pretty much just go back and delete those though, so. Yeah, it's in a spreadsheet. Richard, you might be interested to know, I'm listening to a really good advanced listening copy audiobook called The Indian Card. And it might not interest you because it's about Indigenous rights in America, but the gal is talking about her personal interest in what constitutes Indianness in America. And she's very funny, and she uses colorful language, as well as in the beginning, like the first, I don't know, 5 minutes, she talks about this glowing beacon of sanity and hope. I refer, of course, to Excel. And that made me laugh. I wasn't expecting that to be the answer, but like she's pretty funny. So Diane says, sounds wonderful. Yeah, holiday cheer is really wonderful. The people are great at the museum, and yeah, they're like history people, so they're my people. Yeah, mine are on a screenshot. It means it copies the screenshot so I can send it to someone, then delete it so it's not there forever. Yeah. I end up deleting, and then it says, it's here for 30 days. And I'm like, I don't care, bitches. You can delete it when you want. It's out of my head now. Oh, okay. It's a pun. It's trying to be a pun. Are brand new stories from Oregon known as original stories? I like it. Yeah. It comes out October 15th. It's by Carrie Lowry Schuett-Pels. So, yeah. Interesting. I recently started on watching the English. Oh my gosh, the rec from a long ago. We finally got it up on your conveyor belt of TBR recs. I'm glad. I hope you enjoy it. Manual to be English. Yeah. Well, she Kate Fox, or she had a very common name. I can't remember like what her outsider status or whatever was, but I think she wasn't trying to be English. It was just like a consideration sort of meta exercise that she found interesting. Good so far. Oh, good. Good. Okay. Excellent. Excellent. One of the tags I'm going to be doing soon, in service of like the book launch, is the nonfiction journey. And I do read a lot of nonfiction. I read about a third nonfiction of my reading every year, it seems, now that I've been tracking it. And so I think I'm going to be highlighting books that I've read for research for the book that's coming out on, the pub date is November 30th. So yeah, so we'll see if I highlight those, but also highlight favorites, because like some people can really make nonfiction interesting and funny. And a lot of the research books that I read were not that category. But you know. Followed her on Insta. That's good. So I tweeted something, and when you tweet on your phone in a browser, since I don't want Twitter on my phone, I couldn't find her name because I didn't know it already. So I just like hashtagged it, but I don't know if she's on Twitter. But I put a quote in, or maybe just the screenshot of there you go. I shared the screenshot, so I should have done what Richard recommends. I shared the screenshot on Twitter of listening to the audiobook, and just wanted to get the word out there. And I think I put in a funny quote because she had a funny, it wasn't the Excel one because that was too involved, but it was a later one. Oh, it was about the worst, the worst US president. So, I mean, opinions can differ for sure, but she was being funny, and so I put that on Twitter. But I'll see if she's on Twitter, and now that I know she's on Instagram, I will follow her as well. Very cool. There we go. Thank you for the why so many underscores, Carrie? Interesting. Okay. All right. Yay, nonfiction. Good stuff. Good stuff. And so now, since we have like 12 minutes left of the time period, and I'm going to take a break, I'll just talk books with you guys. So yeah, the Indian Card is one I'm reading now. I'm about halfway through, and Amy from A Star Reads has said that she will discuss it with me when she can get her hands on it later in the month when it's out. She is actually a member of a tribe in Pacific Northwest, and so I thought it'd be really interesting to hear her viewpoint on this. Carrie Lowry Schuetpeltz is also a member of a tribe, but on the North Carolina spectrum. And actually, when I thought about listening to this and places she had gone to archives or talked to people, whatever, in the Lumbee tribe that she's a part of, I thought, oh gosh, I think I looked it up and they're on the eastern side. So they're not on the affected part from Hurricane Helene. But yeah, my mind keeps going back to that because I keep getting absorbed in the images that I see and the stories that are being told on social media. I'm not seeing it anywhere really except TikTok. So spending a lot of time on TikTok, learning what's happening in Appalachia at the moment. And that probably has contributed to like the feeling not so great this week. What books am I reading? What books are you reading? Let's see. I am working on. I just started. Did I start it yet? No, it's on the first page. So we won't even give that. I'm not even started on that. This is one of the fun ones I've started. It's a witchy romance that's also Latinx, Latine. Witch of Wild Things. Is it the? No, just Witch of Wild Things by Raquel Vasquez Gilliland. And it's delightful so far. I really liked the writing. It surprised me because in a witchy romance, I think it's going to be more humor and story and like special moments, but it's making me read slower than I want to because some of the phrases are like, ooh, it's that actor from Homicide. Oh, like it's hitting different. So I'm really liking this one. Witch of Wild Things for Hispanic Heritage Month. None of the other books here are the ones I'm reading, but I will tell you I am slowly getting through how the post office made the United States. And what's weird is that it's dovetailing with one of the very last minute research books I got from Interlibrary Loan. So this is called Empire of Letters, Letter Manuals and Transatlantic Correspondence, 1688 to 1820. And this is talking about early American colonial post office stuff, as well as around the Revolution. I haven't gotten very far through it, so we're at the early parts. But what I wanted was how would my character sign a letter to a relative at this time period? So I got a whole book just to be able to get it correct, guys. So we'll see how that turns out. But what's funny is the Post Office America book is by Winifred Gallagher, who is someone I liked a long time ago for several other books. But this one about the post office, I'm really kind of going, oh, it feels kind of not slapdash and not sloppy, but something in that direction where I'm having all these questions come up about, but what about this? But what about this? And I'm not as enamored of the author's style as I was 10 years ago. So I've wanted to read it for a long time. And now that I finally am, I'm kind of like, oh, maybe we're not going to finish this one and we're just going to pass it on. We'll see. But this is satisfying, that like letter writing itch and how people did newspapers and mailed things, and it's so good. It's so good for a history nerd. So those two about the post offices and my Latinx romance. I've got some Booktober stuff ready to go, but I haven't cracked into it yet. And what else is on my nightstand? Oh, the Chris Hedges book, which is Empire of Illusion, which is really depressing. So that's going slowly, really dense and thought-provoking, but like sad. What else? I won't do another Wednesday wrap up until next Wednesday. I've stopped doing just like every Wednesday streams, but I will do a wrap up every other Wednesday because that gives me space to do it. So Okay. So catching up on the chat. Eva says, my daughter isn't far from Cherokee Land, I think. So she's in Tennessee, and Cherokee Land, I think, is in Oklahoma in terms of reservation, but I could be wrong. Could be wrong. Maggie says, I'm considered non-tribal because my family had almost no one who lived on the reservations, but still have a lot of family cultural traditions that reflect our Cherokee and Algonquin ancestors. Very cool. Yeah, I'm going to have a whole lot to say, and I'm going to have to write it down because I'm not going to be able to remember it long enough to like talk about it with Amy. Leslie says, I'm hoping to stay on schedule this month. I just finished Savage Conversations, currently reading Never Whistle at Night, and The Marrow Thieves is next. These are all Indigenous authors. Wait, did I miss a specific goal or mission? Because I know there's a readathon for Indigenous writers in November, but are you doing something specific in October that I missed? Maggie says postal history is so interesting. Yes. Diane says, I'm going to look into the Indian card. High interest of study for me. Thank you for mentioning it. For sure. Very interesting to me too. Postal history, Maggie says, really makes you see how communication affected society once it stopped being for the elite, wealthy, church, and government. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, one of the causes that my character gets roped into is called the unstamped press, which at the time when England, I'll say because that was the nucleus of the empire, was starting to reform and giving more than the very wealthy the franchise to vote, there were newspapers springing up to try to educate people who could vote. And the government put a tax on those newspapers. So not only would they have to pay postage, but they would have to pay tax for distributing news. And that made it unaffordable for the people that they were trying to educate because they were poorer classes, and 2 pence for a paper every week was a hardship. And so they were trying to revolutionize the press and the relationship between the press and the public and the government, and it was all very interesting. So the Cherokee close to her in East Knoxville, within an hour or two. Oh, I don't know if that's the name of the actual place. Oh, it's a town rather than a reservation. Okay. Empire of Illusion falls right in line with my anthropology, I think, lens. Yeah, American culture is a culture of delusion. Yeah. Diane says, getting ready to jump into The Beetle by, that was one of my, from a long time ago. I think I had that on my list, by Richard Marsh for October. I think I heard that was pretty interesting. So yeah. The one that I didn't start yet, but I have rated highest for Victober priorities, is another biblio-serendipity book. So in my Victober thing, I said, I just read Master, Slave, Husband, Wife, in which William Wells Brown plays a significant role. And now here is a book I have by him, the first African-American novel, treating the character, a fictional character, of someone real, who is Thomas Jefferson's daughter by a slave woman. So like early historical fiction. Very cool. That's my high priority. Maggie says, I really enjoyed The Marrow Thieves. There's a lot of Indigenous American reads in October because of Orange Shirt Day and Red Hand Day. So Orange Shirt Day was September 30th. I missed it, but I saw all the stuff fly by. And Red Hand Day for missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls and two-spirited folks. I don't remember which day that is. Is that the same day or a different day in October? I'm sure you'll let me know. Leslie says, just coincidentally reading mostly Indigenous authors this month, but I'm tying the books I'm reading to the idea that life itself is a horror story. Ah, okay. Oh, I can't remember if I saw a title or a hashtag that you used for this, but yeah, that rings a bell. Eva says, I just received a new copy of My Haunted House as told by Angie Sage, an early middle grade book for the season. That sounds great. Nice. I don't know Angie Sage. That's cool. New author. And we're almost out of time. So there we go. Great books y'all are mentioning, great causes and sort of readathons to follow along with, and lovely. There we go. So instead of a banner, it's just called text. And I can move it around. Wait. Here we go. That's kind of cool, guys. Streamlabs lets you move stuff around on the screen. It's kind of neat. So this has been my first, I'll scrunch down, my first Streamlabs stream, and thank you for experimenting along with me. I think I will do my interviews for Good Fight Fridays later this month. We have 3 Fridays starting on the 11th with author interviews. I think I will do those on StreamYard until my thing runs out, because they're all scheduled before that, and then switch over. It looks like I can only do 1 guest on a stream at a time, but maybe that's the free. And then maybe when I upgrade, I can figure out how many. Again, we'll probably do this after the book is launched, because this is just one more thing I don't need to be worrying about. Okay. Let's see. I also don't know Angie Sage. Okay, so new author. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Maggie's saying May 5th is the official MMIWG day, also unofficially done on October 5th because awareness needs more than 1 day. Yeah, gotcha. Okay. So 7 months apart. Sounds good. That's tomorrow. Enjoy your weekend. This is fun. Thanks, Diane. Waving. Thanks for the sprints. Thanks, Christopher. We had 2 solid sprints at least. So I hope you got some reading done and enjoyed your time chatting. And thanks for hanging in there, Laura. Lurking. Lovely. And Maggie lurking as always. Yeah, so success today. I hope you have a lovely weekend. Enjoy your reading. Take care of yourselves and take care of those around you. Everyone, be kind out there. All right. I don't have an outro, so we'll just see how it ends. I'm on the edge of my seat.